Hey guys, got about another minute or two left, just waiting on our guests when the Hayers get in. And Michelle, if you guys are in, let me know you're here. Welcome to the Tuesday TeamViHOPE call. We do this each and every Tuesday, and tonight is going to be another amazing call. If you're just getting on the call, let us know who you are and where you're calling from.
Sharinda from Louisville.
Welcome, Sharinda. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Amanda, you want to take over? Take over.
Sure, sounds good. All right, guys, this is the weekly TeamViHOPE call. We have an awesome call lined up tonight. If you're out there, please announce yourself. Another minute or two.
We also have Dave from Louisville, other end of the house, working.
Kelly from Stockton, California.
Welcome, welcome. All right, give everyone another minute, and then we will get started. Awesome, awesome topic tonight. I cannot talk about how much this hits home to me on multiple levels. So excited. All right, if it's all right, I'll get started. My name is Amanda Hoffman. I am a 100-pound club member, TeamViHOPE member. I'm going to start a little bit about my story real quick. I've been heavier pretty much all throughout my childhood. I have been pretty athletic, though. It all went downhill for me after having 2 children battling depression, anxiety, PTSD-type issues. And at 21 years old, after having my 2 kids, I tipped the scale at over 300 pounds. I've been with Vi for just over 2 years, and right now I'm currently down about 135 pounds. Our focus tonight is on childhood obesity, which is crazy, crazy, crazy topic right now. Obesity is pretty much defined as an extreme excess of fat to the point where it's past a cosmetic issue and actually negatively impacts your health. As the prevalence of obesity in America has risen for adults, so has the numbers of overweight and obese children. As of the most recent statistics I can find, approximately 1 out of 3 children in America are considered obese. I mean, that's the most recent statistics, which are as of around 2012, so I'm sure it's probably way, way more, and it's only getting worse. What's even worse is that approximately 75% of these overweight and obese children go on to become overweight and obese adults. I mean, it impacts the country physically, mentally, and extremely financially. For overweight and obese kids, there's tons of negative impacts, mostly physical. I mean, it puts them at risk for cardiovascular disease, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, the development of type 2 diabetes, bone and joint problems, sleep apnea, possibly decreased lifespan. I mean, they talk about now that this is going to be the first generation that may not live as long as their parents do. It's crazy. Not only are there these physical aspects, there's also tons of emotional negative impacts, like being subject to bullying, poor self-esteem, increased suicide. I mean, who knows? There's tons of negative things that could happen with obesity, and it's only getting worse. I'd like to introduce, and I have the honor of introducing, Vi's youngest 100-pound club member, who is 17. Michelle, are you out there? Michelle?
Hey, Amanda, I don't think Michelle has hopped on the call yet. I just sent her a message. So what we're going to do is do something a little different. Is she there, Michelle? Michelle, is that you by chance?
Hopefully.
All right, what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce the other set of guests. Amanda, once I'm done, you can bring on Michelle if she gets on the call, okay? Sound good?
Wonderful, Pat.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. Some absolutely amazing statistics and actually saddening statistics on childhood obesity. And the next couple I'm going to be bringing on after I tell you a little bit about myself is somebody that are totally familiar with childhood obesity. Their son has lost a great amount of weight. They are VI National Weight Loss Champions, and I can't wait to bring them on. My name is Pat Ryan. I'm a national director with VI. I've been with VI for a little over 4 years now. I am a national Body by VI active fitness champion and a proud member of the 100-Pound Club, as well as a proud member of TeamViHOPE. I started out 4 years ago as a broken and beaten man, 430 pounds. My body was falling apart. I'm a former pro wrestler and a former football player, and I gave up hope. I had nothing to turn to and nobody to turn to. I was eating myself to death. And at 430 pounds, I went and saw the doctor. My blood pressure was 170/90, and he told me that I was a walking heart attack, that if I didn't do something about it, I was going to die. And I was sitting in the room holding my 1.5-year-old, and I figured that's probably not a good thing because I had 2 other older children at the time and one that we now have that I didn't know about then, and they need me. So I had a skinny guy that bugged me about these weight loss shakes for 9 months, and I told him off in every way possible, some nice, some not so nice. But when the doctor gave me that death sentence, I said, hey, skinny guy, bring me the shakes. Got some shakes, ordered my shape kit. I lost 15 pounds in the first 3 weeks, 56 pounds in my first challenge, and I'm telling you, after the first 3 weeks, I was hooked. After multiple challenges, I've lost 150 pounds, built 20 pounds of muscle, and been able to turn it into the challenge lifestyle. I live the VI life each and every day, and I am proud to be a champion with VI. I'm proud to be able to have TeamViHOPE and what we've brought here to bring you guys information and motivation and inspiration each and every week. So I'm not going to say anything more, but what I'm going to do is introduce my guests, national weight loss champions from 2015. Perry and Demetria, are you out there?
Yes, we are. How are you, Pat?
I am doing fantastic, my friend. I am so excited to have you guys on the call, and I want to hear your story, but I'm even more excited for what we're going to talk about afterwards because I want to talk about Josiah and I want to talk about kids in general. So please, let us hear your story. National weight loss champions. Tell us, it's 157 pounds you guys have lost combined, I think?
Yes, and it's been amazing since day one. Now, you know, a lot of you got to see a snapshot of our stories, but over 157 pounds. Well, now he's 7 years old, but when we started the challenge, he was 6, and he weighed 109 pounds. So a 6-year-old at triple digits. And when you say it now, looking back, it sounds really, really bad and scary at the same token. But the challenge has done amazing things for us. It gave us our life back. You know, children aren't always able to say how they feel, or if they have insecurities, they don't know how to articulate it correctly, and their confidence struggles in the same sense. So the challenge has done, you know, a whirlwind for him as well. And I can't say enough about how happy and excited and definitely blessed to have come across the challenge.
That's absolutely awesome. So how many challenges have you and Demetria done so far?
Well, we came in back in February of last year, so this will be our 5th 90-day.
Fantastic. And weight loss champions, what's your favorite kit?
Oh, transformation kit all day. And it tastes really good when it's free as well.
Yeah, big time free. You know what? I just hit last month 48 months free in a row. I paid for a shape kit once and free for the rest of it, my wife and I, both of us. Over $25,000 in free product and 225 pounds combined lost. Pretty awesome.
Wow. Yes.
It's absolutely crazy. Hey, has Michelle gotten on the call at all yet? Well, I don't think we're going to have Michelle on the call tonight, and that's okay, because you know what? A 17-year-old sometimes is just a little busier than we are. We may have a whole bunch of kids and stuff. Is that you, Michelle, by chance? Nope. All right. He's going to be one of the ones that goes. I love you, Dave and or Mike. Thank you so much. I'm going to bring my guest back on in just a couple of minutes. Michelle's not able to make the call. She's a 17-year-old 100-pound club member. Now, somebody that absolutely took the challenge to heart and realized that her health was at risk. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story before I bring the guests on, because I have a really strong feeling about childhood obesity and who is responsible for it. And there's only one answer, and that's the parents. I have 4 kids, and I know if one of my children was obese, it would be because I either let them eat the wrong things because I bought it, or because I let them sit in front of the TV and do nothing but play video games and not be active. That is my fault as a parent. My story as a child was slightly different. We didn't have video games back then, but we had food, and my dad used to refer to me as garbage guts. And he used to say, hey, give Garbage Guts your food. He'll clean every plate. And as a kid, I was trained to clean everybody's plate. He used to call me Baby Huey and make fun of me for my size, because at 12, I ended up being 6'2" and 240 pounds. I was a man-child, but before then, I was just this chunky kid who was always teased by his friends and called fatric and called adipose. And it was all because of my parents. We didn't eat a lot of fast food, because we lived in rural Manitoba. There wasn't a McDonald's within an hour. I think it was an hour before I could get to a McDonald's when I was a kid. So it was a treat when I got to have it back then. But for me, it was overeating and indulging on everything in front of me. I could never leave my plate empty. And I know many of you out there grew up that way too. We were taught to not leave our plates empty. So for me, I was programmed into childhood obesity, which led into adult obesity and morbid obesity, and led me to the point of sitting here on a call talking to everybody about it. So I take responsibility for my health now as an adult, but I also take responsibility for the health of my children, and that's what I want to talk about. So, Dave, if you can, I want to talk to Perry, Demetria, and Amanda. Are you guys all out there right now?
I'm here, Pat.
Awesome. You know what? I'm going to start with you, Amanda. You're 23 years old. You're almost a child yourself, and you're a mother as well. So I mean, you've been through it. You know what it's like. You've been through the childhood obesity, and you have a child on your own. So, give me your take on childhood obesity and what can we do to stop this, because it's absolutely sickening. Your turn.
I do. This hits me so close to home on more than just being a parent of kids, more than just being that fat kid, that big girl half of my life. I mean, I am also a teacher. I'm an early childhood teacher. So seeing other people's children, I get it from that aspect as well. I was talking to a friend of mine who is a NPC bikini competitor and also a elementary school teacher. And she sent one of her children home with a bad note or something, and the kid the next day brought her in a donut. She brought her in a donut. I mean, what happened to bringing your teachers apples? Now we're bringing in donuts. It's just another another funny point to try to get the point across. It's getting worse, and we as adults need to do something about it. And I think the biggest but most simplest thing we can do is to make healthier choices ourselves. Children learn by example. They're like sponges. If they see us eating better and getting active and exercising and not sitting our butts in front of the TV for hours and hours on end, they will want to as well. And this is not just at home. This is in classroom and everywhere else as well. I mean, being a teacher and a parent, I get it on both ends of the spectrum. I saw kids all day, and I saw kids coming in with snacks and parents bringing in cupcakes and sugary drinks and stuff like that for their kids. And it wasn't even birthday. It was just an everyday occurrence. When parents were asked to bring in community snacks for the class, they would bring in cupcakes and think that it was okay. And we had to serve it because that's what the parents brought in. And I definitely did not agree with that, and I ended up leaving that preschool, and that was one of the reasons. I mean, that is probably the biggest thing that we could do, is just get healthier ourselves, because if kids see us get healthy and make healthier choices, then they'll want to do it too, because that'll be the cool thing. I mean, the highlight of my life is when my kid passes up a goldfish or a donut and asks me for a sip of my Vi shake. It's like, thank you.
So the moral of the story that I get from that is, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
Yes, definitely.
That's pretty much, that's my stance on it, and I think you agree with that from what you just said.
Oh yes, without a doubt.
Awesome, Amanda. Thank you so much. I absolutely love having you on the call, and you'll be on much more because you've got fire and passion, and your story needs to be heard, and you can bring it out of others. Thank you so much. Don't leave yet. Just put yourself on mute.
I won't. Thank you.
Perry and Demetria, are you guys out there? Perry, Demetria, are you out there?
Yes. Can you hear us?
I can hear you now. Thank you so much. So my question for you is going to be slightly different because you guys just did it. You guys just lived it. You were obese. Your child was obese. You made a change. Your child made a change. So basically, I want to know what you did. Besides take the challenge, but how did everybody get obese and how did everybody start to get healthy again? Please, that's part of the story, but I really want to hear it from you guys because obviously the food wasn't good if everybody was obese. Take it away.
Right. We definitely had made bad choices. Eating out a lot. We'd always go to restaurants. It's like you love just to be pampered and go order your food and get the food brought to you and check please. And we just enjoyed that life for a very long time. And the drive-through, the pizza, just all of the good-tasting bad things we indulged in. And, whenever we would try to lose weight before, we never incorporated our child. And I would have to say that, there was a period where we were very in denial about our child and his health. And, going to the doctors and the doctor saying, look, we have to do something about this. And it really just hitting us in our face about, the weight. And then when we took on the challenge, you start to educate yourself about different foods because I'll tell you with Josiah, he didn't eat a lot of food, but it was what he was eating that was the problem, And so, we would look at labels. So nothing was high fructose corn syrup. He didn't eat any of that. None of that stuff made it into the house. We would shop around the aisle. We would shop around the grocery store. We wouldn't shop in the aisles because that's a lot of the processed foods. So that was a big change that we made. When it came to lunch, he brought his lunch instead of buying lunch at school. That was another big change. And then the biggest thing was being active as a family. We would go to the park every single day. That was our workout. And we would walk, and then we would start to jog, and then we'd say, okay, look, we have to jog, we have to walk before you go to that playground. And that was the deal. And as we, progressed and everyone got better, we started jogging instead of walking, and it just became the lifestyle, and he enjoyed it. And we would come home, and before the shower and bedtime, we would turn on the music, and we would dance as a family. So that was the biggest thing. We made it a family affair. When it came to being active, when it came to, making good, great tasting food and being creative. That was the big thing.
That is exactly what I wanted to hear. And the one thing I took out of all of that, besides those incredible tips, shop around the outside in the grocery store, don't go down the aisles, that's where all the bad stuff is, learn how to read a label. You used the word denial. And you just opened me up to be able to tie everything together and finish it off because how long were you in denial about your own weight?
Years. It's 10 years. I would go up and down, and I would be okay with being a size 16, 18, and be like, I'm fabulous. I'm fabulous and fat, but I was fabulous.
BBWs are awesome.
But still being like, okay, I'm not healthy, though. I'm still eating this bad stuff. I'm not active. So I was in denial about myself, and then when I had a child, being in denial about his health and growing up. And I just thank God that Project 10 of Visalis came into our life when it did because, it could have been childhood diabetes. It could have been a heart attack or a stroke for Perry and myself. So, I really thank God that it came across.
Well, and we're all absolutely happy that you found the challenge for your health and for Josiah as well, and to be able to share your story and inspire people around the world, not only adults, but children too. And my hat is off to you for doing that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys more than you.
Thank you, Pat.
All right. You're welcome. All right, guys. There are a couple key points in there that I want to talk about. And if any of you guys listen to the Hope Calls, you know that I kind of shoot from the hip and I never really plan anything. I know that we're going to be talking about childhood obesity, and I didn't bother getting the statistics. I left that to Amanda because I'm the from the heart guy. You've already heard a little bit of my story with my parents and the way my dad treated me. Well, denial is the biggest problem that we all have. I was fat and fabulous too. I was 450 pounds, and all the ladies still loved me because I had a sparkling personality and charisma. It's not about being overweight. It's about being healthy. And at 430 pounds, I was not healthy. There's nothing fat shaming when we talk about it, when we try to challenge people, whether it be adults, and then we want to talk to the adults about their kids. Talking about kids and their weight is one of the touchiest subjects allowed. In fact, it's illegal. You can advertise a Big Mac and a Happy Meal to a child. You can sell them on Dunkin' Donuts, but you can't sell them on losing weight. And that is absolutely sad and something we need to change. But the only way that we can change it is by being part of the solution and not the problem. So parents on this call and parents that listen to this call, I challenge you to look at what you are feeding your children. If you are feeding your kids packaged, processed sweets and chips and hot dogs and sugary sodas, stop it. You're killing them. Can I say it any clearer? You are killing your own children. That is the slap in the face that we all need. That is what denial cannot be anymore. I was overweight. I was dying. I fed my kids crappy food when I was in that mood and when I was in that way. And my kids would have had the same lifestyle as me. And let me tell you, I don't want my kids to suffer the way I have my whole life. And I know you don't either. Because if you are overweight and you have suffered and struggled with your weight, think about the love you have for your child. You may not want to admit they're obese, but would you like to know that they struggle just like you do, that they have thoughts of suicide because kids make fun of them, that they turn to food because that's what they saw their parents do? How does that feel? Yes, we love our kids, and if we want to love our kids, we need to admit to ourselves that we are doing unhealthy things to us and to them. So it is our responsibility. Parents are 100% responsible for childhood obesity, unless your child has a medical condition that may cause that. And usually that can be cured with better nutrition. I know this was a little bit harsh and a little bit strong today, but that's how strong I feel about this, because my dad programmed me to eat everything in front of me and programmed me into a lifestyle and a lifetime of pain and anger and anguish. And I wish that on nobody, and I do not wish that on my children, and I certainly don't wish that on yours either. So parents on this call, people on this call that know people that have kids, guess what? That's all of you. You need to start talking to your friends and talking to your kids, and you need to change your life. You need to accept the challenge, and you need to help them accept the challenge. So if you're on this call and you don't know what the challenge is, and you just got invited on, and you just heard this guy being really super passionate about what's going on, contact the person that got you on this call and tell them that you need to find out more about it. How you can lose 10 pounds and feed 90 meals to help a child struggling with obesity just by losing 10 pounds. Get yourself healthy to help children in need. 40 pounds is a whole year for one kid. You can entirely change their life in a year. I know mine was changed in a year. And if you're on this call and you're on the challenge, I love you all. Thank you for being shining lights in our community. Thank you for putting yourself out there, for dealing with the backlash of other people not understanding what we do and why we do it, because this is why we do it. We do it because of the pain we felt and what we went through, and we don't want others to do that. What we want them to feel is the joy that we feel now from getting in shape, from losing the weight, from getting healthy, from being taken off the morbid obesity list, from being taken off of numerous medications. That's why we share it so passionately. So guys, any of you on this call, share the challenge with everybody you can. Challenge them to lose 10 pounds and help a child in need through Project 10 Kids. Guys, let's crush obesity. This mission to crush obesity is getting stronger each and every day, and we're doing it because we need to save our future. We need to save our children. Guys, my name is Pat Ryan, and that is the end of this call. Thank you so much for being here.